This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
Good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. So happy to be here. Guys, can I just say I'm so impressed by you. I'm so impressed by you being here as well and wanting to grow your team, knowing how important customer service is, and just for knowing why we have to make a first impression. It's huge. It is everything. So I'm happy you're here. I'm super stoked. We've got 4 new calls this week. We're going to jump into them. Hello, Amber. How are you today? Let us know where you're joining from. Hey, Taylor. I'm glad you guys are joining us. Hi. Fun. Guys, you super stoked to listen to some calls? I'm so excited. We're going to do this. I've got 4. We're going to try to get through all 4 today. So let's start with the first one. I appreciate everyone in the chat. If you guys could let me know for any reason you're not able to hear, that would be awesome. But let's get going. Hi, Mandy. So happy you're here. Here we go.
Thank you for calling. This is Maria. How can I help you?
My name is Bob Bowie. I have no seats.
Oh, no, Bob. Well, that's not good. When did you notice that it stopped working for you?
Saturday.
Saturday? Okay, it just went out. It just wouldn't turn on. You didn't hear any noises or anything?
No.
Okay.
Got the generating a blower. The blower's
Okay.
not working. The heater's not working. The air's not working.
Oh, geez. Okay. Bob, can I get the address for your location, please?
Yep.
All right. Of course, we have to stop and talk about that first impression. That was awesome. I really, really enjoyed this call. You know what I like about it the most is how personal she sounds. Like, not personable necessarily, but she just sounds like herself. I wonder if anyone else noticed that. Like, she just sounds like she's talking to a friend, talking to someone that she's like, oh, geez, right? Like, her care just comes out so naturally. She's there in the conversation. I agree with Amber as well. Love the probing questions. She's asking questions right away. Like, she definitely seems like she is just talking to a friend. I love that, how natural it sounds. I agree with you. She showed care a couple times as well, not just once, which I like. And I do also think that we can get very much into this like box checking mentality and showing care. You know what I mean? We think to ourselves, I did it once. I showed care. I got my care. Now I don't have to do it again. But truly, we should be doing it every time the customer talks about their problem. Every time they mention a frustration, some sort of emotional frustration, we want to meet that. And that is our reaction. So the care principle applies from the moment we start the call until the end. She's doing a great job so far. I love this. All right, let's keep going. Also, I want to point this one out. Jennifer says, great probing questions, goodness, and a natural care statements. Yes, Jennifer, exactly. Like natural. That is what it is, right? The natural care statement. I love it. All right, let's keep going.
Correct.
Okay, let's take a look here and see. Okay. I'm just looking at the schedule to see when we can get someone out there for you. Would you prefer sooner rather than later?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd like to get started out here today if possible.
Okay. I'm trying to look and see. I think we might be able to make that happen for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I could do today between like 10 and 2 o'clock. Would that possibly work?
That'd be fine.
Okay. And is the number 248-607-8786?
Yes, that's my cell. That's correct.
That's your cell. Okay. Okay, perfect. I will have them give that number a call when they're on their way, and we will get you all taken care of this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
I like it. I agree with you. Amber says on here, she says, great way to ask for the appointment. I definitely agree. I think that she does it. She takes her time with it. She's able to really make sure she knows what this person is expecting of her and then go in. I agree with you, Amber. Thank you. She points out no value statement. No value statement. I don't even know if she talked about price at all. Did anyone else hear that? I don't think I heard anything about price. I'm almost curious. I kind of want to go back, but I don't think she mentioned. Hold on. Let me try one thing.
Thank you for calling. This is Maria. How can I help you?
I'm going back to listen really quick.
Bob Bowie. I have no heat.
Yeah, he has no heat. So there's not, I didn't hear one diagnostic. Must be, Mandy says it must be free. All right, done. Free for us. Not mad about it. Amber says no price. Didn't hear the process of what would happen either. You're so right about that. And actually, I want to highlight that, Amber, because there are more reasons than just pricing that we build value, right? I'm not here to build value just so that I can bomb you with the number at the end. But part of why I'm doing this is so that I can talk to you about the process, the expectations, what's going to happen. Phrases like, we're going to give you a text in advance so that you know exactly when he's going to be out there. We have a fully stocked truck, so we can even fix a lot of the repairs same day. Right? Phrases like, it's going to have our logo on the side, so you know that it's us. We're going to wear a uniform. If someone shows up without a uniform on, you better call me. I want to make sure that you're okay, because that is how we work, right? Make sure they know what to expect. And that is one really, really important part of why we build value. I totally agree with that. Mandy also says we need to set clear expectations. Oh, or her mind goes crazy. Don't make Mandy crazy, y'all. Build value, okay? We're doing it for our anxious peeps out there, me being one of them. I need to know what is going on. Set the expectation. I agree with you. So biggest area of opportunity on this call, I think we agree. We'd love to hear more value. Loved the personability. I think she nailed the first impression. She really, really was engaged early on, and that was her priority. So that is our goal. We want to create a strong first impression before we start having difficult conversations like pricing, like scheduling, things like that. All right, let's do another one.
It's a great day. This is Maddie. How can I make you smile today?
Yes, ma'am. I was calling. My downstairs air conditioning's not kicking on.
Oh my goodness. All right, Mr. Chipper. Well, that is not good. When did this begin?
I just noticed it this morning.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've been gone for the last few days though, so I don't know if it's I don't know when it really started. I just noticed it this morning though.
Right. Okay. All right. And is the unit, so no air is blowing at all, or is it just blowing warm air?
Well, the fan's on, but the outside unit's not on. So it's set for 74, but it's 76 in the room. It's not getting any cooler.
All right. All right, Mr. Chipper, and this is for the downstairs, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they were just out recently, did all the checks on everything.
Yeah, let's see. Back in March, I do see that.
Mm-hmm. They put some kind of new relay or something on, so.
Yeah. Well, we definitely need to get someone out there to you. See, how about...
All right, let's pause right here because we're about to get into scheduling. Excuse me. So I'm looking at the chats here. I want to see what everyone else is noticing about this call. So we've got great greeting. Okay, I agree with that, Amber. She also says she hit him with that care. Yeah, we hear the care. Probing questions, uses his name, validates what he's saying. Not just validates, but also like she validates, she reassures, she restates, right? Like there's a lot going into this, and she's doing a really good job. Now, the one thing I'm noticing is there are filler words, and there are some spaces that are leading me from the outside looking in to feel like there's a little bit of uncertainty. That's probably the one thing that I'm noticing, because she's asking the questions, right? She's got the care statements. She's using strong, reassuring statements as well. There's a lot of really, really good points on here. The one thing is the filler words and the pauses. So there are a couple reasons that someone might lead. Sorry, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. There are a couple of things that we do in calls that lead people to lack confidence in us. The pause that I just did right there. All right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Two of them are dead air and filler words. The more we use them now, and maybe I just say this for myself, seriously, but I'm convinced we can't get rid of those things altogether. People do them all the time, and a little one here and there is not a big deal. We all do it. I'm fully convinced. Okay. If you believe otherwise, let me know. We can talk about it, but I'm fully convinced. So when you hear it happening in calls, just to the point where it starts to get a little bit excessive, there's too much of it, that's when people stop feeling super confident in us and they're ready to talk to somebody else. Now, in this call, again, there's so much good. In fact, way more good than there is negative, for sure. But something to point out. And how we can accomplish this, one thing that she could do to help relieve some of this dead air, some of the silence, some of the filler words, would be to end with a question. And she does that, but it kind of takes her a moment. So she'll say things like, oh no. There's a pause. Okay, well, and then she kind of comes out with it, right? I'd love to hear that question moved up just a little bit. And if we're not sure what question is coming next, then this is a great time to maybe start narrations. If there's more that you need to get, maybe rephrase, offer some reassurance. This is definitely something that we can take care of for you. It's not fun at all when you're dealing with something like that, right? Make your care, you can use a longer form of care to fill that up until you know exactly what question you want to come next. But ending with the question is going to help a lot to increase that confidence in the customer. Let's read some of the comments as well. I agree with you guys. Strong assurance statements. Amber, I'm terrible with filler words. I am convinced we all are. I really am, you guys. I'm convinced we all do it. I'm going to highlight this as well because Amber says she's bad with filler words. At least she feels like she is. Okay. Here is my suggestion to everyone, because we all have an idea without ever hearing one of our calls. If we're good at this or if we're bad at this, I don't want you to waste your time working on something that you actually don't need to work on. So listen back on your calls. Go back and listen. Get a third-party perspective, right? From the outside looking in, did I use too many filler words? That is the best way to do it. If you don't have call recording for whatever reason, then ask someone around you. Because if it's to the point where it's excessive, it's too much, then chances are they probably noticed it as well. So don't be shy. Don't be nervous to ask the people for help. Definitely do that. Listen to your calls, even though I hate it too, right? Mandy can attest to that. I hate it too. We know how helpful it is. It totally does. And it opens your eyes to something you just didn't know before. All right, you guys, let's keep going.
Would you be available? Let me see. Let's see what I've got here. So, Mr. Shepard, what days of the week work best for you?
Today or tomorrow works the best.
I love that she did that.
All right. I do have tomorrow between 2 and 4, if that would be okay.
Send it. I got people staying here this weekend, and I can't have my air conditioner not working.
Of course, absolutely. No, we'd love to get out there and get this back up and running for you. All right. All right, let's see. And is this the equipment? Is the downstairs the one that was installed back in March of 2022?
No.
Okay. All right.
Upstairs was 2022.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, I've got you down for tomorrow between 2 and 4. And we're going to send one of our service professionals out, and he'll do that top to bottom evaluation and just see what's going on. And, of course, we do send them on fully stocked vans. And so we do our best to perform same-day repairs as often as possible. And our goal here is to make sure that you are comfortable in your home. We provide all this to you for $85. We accept cash, card, or check. How would you like to pay so that our technicians prepared?
I'll just pay card.
Okay.
Now I do the whatever that club thing is. So is this still a charge for the labor? Or for the visit?
Yeah,
rather?
So it's the 85 for him to come out and do the evaluation, and if being a Comfort Club member, if he finds anything and provides you any repair estimates or anything to that sort, if you move forward, then the 85 is waived.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, Mr. Chipper. Well, I've got you down, and I'll go ahead and send this booking confirmation over. And I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ooh, what a strong closing to this call. Right? The last 2 minutes were really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little worried about the ask principle because she starts off right before we paused it. She was like, all right, I have, and she started to almost say what her availability was and stopped. I was like, well, what's going to work for you? And I was like, yeah, way to go. She nailed it. And then after she was able to meet his expectation, she was able to, with a lot of reassuring phrases as well, she comes out at the end with a super strong value statement. Okay. I love that she talks about what their focus is and how she wants to help. Oh, Taylor's got a good comment here. Very informative and knowledgeable. I agree with you. Super, super kind and understanding. The care in this call was excellent. And it was just all throughout the conversation. And she had a great tone to support that. So I think that was also really helpful. Super strong build value, as we talked about. She also expresses gratitude. I want to highlight one last thing. Right there at the end, he says, well, I'm a maintenance member. So, do I still have to pay for this? Now, I think I've heard the same response to questions like this for years, and it sounds something like, well, unfortunately, you do still have to pay for it, but if you decide to go forward with the work, we will waive it. Right? So we're saying this thing like it's bad news, like it's a negative, and that unfortunately is just so loud to the customer. No one has ever been excited to hear what comes after, unfortunately. So when we preface it with all this negative, it makes it sound like paying that 85 is a negative thing. Right? And she didn't do that at all. She did such a good job at just saying, yeah, because you're a maintenance member, that $85 is how much this is going to be, and it'll be waived if you decide to go forward with the work. She doesn't really change up her tone a whole lot. It's not like, I'm about to give you some bad news, buckle up. Nothing like that. She's not prefacing it. She just says, this is how it is. Focuses on the part that the customer is going. She focuses on it very matter-of-factly. This is what you're going to get as a customer, and she used positive words only. It was really good. Mandy, don't show your butt. That's hilarious. Don't show your butt, guys. Okay, be classier than that. Don't show your butt. That's hilarious. Okay, let's do another one.
Thank you for calling. This is Angie. How may I help you?
Hi, this is Marissa. I have a service scheduled for this Monday, 10 to 12, and I need to reschedule.
Okay, I'll be glad to help you with that. Let me take a look for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, I'm curious to know, does anyone have any ideas on how we could get our listen principle in a call like this? Okay, so we're 23 seconds in. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to think about it. I'd love to see your chats if you've got ideas. But the customer says, I need to reschedule. She said, this is my name. I need to reschedule. How do you apply the listen principle to a call like that? How do we apply? And a little bit of a deep dive into the listen principle, okay? Because our goal is to understand the customer, because understanding invites connection. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect with you. I connect with you by understanding you. But that's the tricky thing, because I can understand you and you could still not feel understood. So that key here is understanding, right? If I'm trying to make sure that I have a good understanding, I need to do something that ensures I understand and helps you feel understood. So there has to be an action associated to it. I can't just sit here and hear all the things. If everything just goes into my mind and I take it all in and I understand what's going on, I haven't done anything until I actually commit to an action. There's nothing about that leaves you feeling understood. There has to be an action of some kind. So in this call, what would that action be? All right, so we've got one idea. Let's talk about this one. Okay, we can help you with that. What's going on that we need to get rescheduled for? Here is what I'm going to pinpoint the part that is most important in what you just said, Amber. And it's the part where you said that we need to get you rescheduled for. Because that is when you tell her, I heard what you just said. That's when you tell her. Now, what's going on? That question, here's my devil's advocate answer to that. That question could potentially hurt us. What do you guys think? You tell me. Potentially hurt us because I worry they're going to be like, well, I told you all this yesterday when I called to make my initial appointment. You know what I mean? I wonder if we need to get that information from the account first. You guys tell me what you think. If maybe that's not something. I actually think we can simplify it. I think the only thing we need to do is just restate what she just asked for. That's it. Like, absolutely. Or maybe even, okay, wait, let's play off of this idea, Amber. What do you think about asking, has anything changed since we last spoke to you in regards to your issue? Has anything changed? So it would be something like, I can absolutely get you rescheduled. You've called the right person. Has anything changed since we talked to you last time? That way we're asking for new information. I like that as well. Ask if everything is okay. Is everything okay? Is anything different since the last time that we met with you? Some clarification. We're trying to understand beyond what we already know. All right, let's keep going. So that's what, so far in the call, that's what I would want to hear. Because she does say in this call, yeah, I can help you with that. But I would want her to take it one step further because, again, we're trying to ensure the other person feels understood. One step further and just saying, I can help you with that. I can definitely help you with what? Help you with that reschedule. I can definitely get you rescheduled. Rephrase it. Super, super strong tool. Oh, let's touch on what Mandy said. That also sets us up for care. I agree. So a question like, we're taking what Amber said, which was probing. Tell us a little bit more about the problem. We've turned it into the question of, has anything changed? And they tell us, yes, something has changed. This, and that, right? It's actually worse than it was when I talked to you last. Oh my gosh, that's definitely not good. I'm so glad I asked. Give me some more information, right? That's our reaction. We immediately able to show care. Another thing that, obviously they could say, no, everything's the same. Great. So happy to hear that. Or great. I'm so glad nothing has changed. We've got all the information from the last time you called in. We can definitely get this rescheduled. Right? Something along those lines. And then it takes you into the next step. So I want to highlight just how quickly you can get through your really strong first impression. Just how quickly you can show someone that you're listening and then respond with care, respond with reassurance. Right? I think that sometimes we get overwhelmed thinking to listen, I have to ask all these questions. It's going to take forever to do that. Well, when customer calls you with something really simple, your listen needs to be simple as well because it's a simple situation, right? It matches the needs of the customer. It doesn't have to take a long time. I'm reading some of the other comments. Amber asks the question, could we say something like, is there anything that I need to put on the work order to update the appointment for the technician? Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Is there anything I need to update? I like the word update a lot. That sounds really, really good. Let's see what else here. Mandy says, open-ended is better. Okay, so how would we make this an open-ended question? Instead of, is there anything, we could say, let's talk about this. I'm curious because I feel like a yes or no question in this regard might be okay. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the chat. In this regard, because we're trying to see if there's any probing that needs to be done. And I can react with care in that moment if it's a yes or no question. I'd love to hear. Okay, put in the chat what you guys think. All right, let's read what Taylor said. Taylor says, perhaps say that you understand life gets busy and then express to them that we are determined to find a good time that works best for them. I do agree to ask if everything was okay. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I like that. Perhaps, so how would we say that? So it would just be, you're mainly focusing on the care statement. Here's my one thought on this, Taylor. Tell me what you think. And that is, that things get busy. We haven't quite gotten that information yet. Like, is it because things are busy? Right? Is that why they're wanting to reschedule? Is it because it's busy, or is it because, or I mean, who knows why, right? Ultimately, that's what we're getting at, is who knows why. So Mandy's mentioning we're talking more about ending it with an open-ended question. I fear they'll overlook smaller changes and say no. If anyone has a good example of an open-ended question, let me know. One that would feel natural when talking to the customer. Because how I'm seeing it is, if they're just asking for something small like a reschedule, oh, I'm reading the chat, guys. Sorry, don't mind me, my awkwardness in reading. Mandy says, has anything changed? Is a bit more targeted. I get what you're saying. And so there's like a specific question. And this example earlier that we talked about, is there anything that I need to put on, to update it? May not, the customer may not know exactly what kind of thing to look out for. Is that what you're saying? A little bit more specific. Still a yes or no, but more specific, maybe easier to find the right kind of answer that we're looking for. And I agree that maybe later in the call is a better time to ask, is there anything else that you want me to update? Something more general. This could be like phone number, address, anything, right? A problem, whatever. Whereas, has anything changed with your issue is more specific. It's targeting one thing, allowing us to better understand that one thing. Yeah, I like that. I can get behind that. I think that they're both good questions. I'll point that out. I think they're both good questions. I do think that our job is to ask it in a way that allows us to get the right type of information. So a more targeted question, I agree with Mandy, would be a good idea. All right, so let's keep going.
So we are scheduling out into June right now. Are you pretty flexible, or you need a specific day and time?
Ooh, love that.
Ooh, so this is for my air conditioning that doesn't work.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Return to replace.
Yeah.
Compressor. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited we have this example. This is exactly what happens when we tell the customer our availability before asking. Right? Like, that is what it is. So we have, a lot of times we justify telling them our availability, and in our minds, we think we're doing it for them. I'm doing it because I don't want them to be disappointed. I'm doing it because I want them to know before I say it, right? Before they tell me, that's why I'm doing it. When in reality, we are being reactive. We are totally causing it. So now our customer has to hear the bad news without a solution attached. How could I possibly attach a solution if I don't know that it's going to be a problem? So this is a really good opportunity to discuss the importance of always asking the customer when they want somebody out. When would you like us to come out? Even though she knows it's June, right? The customer's going to say, I want someone out as soon as possible. The very next step of what we should be doing at that point is, if we don't have it, we get their account pulled up, we read, we know exactly why we're coming out there. So that would be the moment where we determine that, or we maybe not determine, but we educate ourselves on the problem at hand, like why this is a problem in the first place. This is not a maintenance call, right? Amber, that's what Amber was saying. This is definitely not a maintenance call. And we don't know that unless we ask good questions. The customer didn't specify one way or another. We don't really have any reason to assume this is a maintenance call. She hasn't said that it was a maintenance call. So she has to be looking through that account and reading exactly what's going on. And if we use the pattern and apply the call flow, we have every opportunity to do that beforehand. I want to read Taylor's comment. Came right as I pushed play. Let me see. You could open up by thanking them for calling and then say that you hope everything is okay. Then ask them if anything has changed since they last called. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, I like that. You're saying instead of saying so that I know that things get busy. It's like, hey, I need to call and reschedule. Hi, yes, thank you so much for reaching out. I can absolutely help you with that. I hope everything's okay. Let's get this done as soon as possible. Has anything changed since we last talked to you? Right, Taylor, does that kind of sound like what you're talking about? How I might introduce that? Let me know if that's what you're thinking. I like that idea, though. I think that's better than assuming we know why they're wanting to reschedule. Okay, let's keep going. We've only got 23 seconds left of this call. Let's see what happens, and then we'll be done for today.
All right, give me a second. Let me reach out to dispatch for this one, okay? Hey, Marissa.
Yes, hello.
Hey, so I did reach out to the head dispatch, and she said she will check the schedule and see where she can move it to, see what dates we have available, and she'll give you a call back, okay?
Okay, yep, thank you.
You're welcome, and have a good day.
All right, bye.
Ooh, okay. Who wants to tell me what her billed value was in this call? Did anyone recognize what her billed value was? It doesn't sound like a regular billed value, maybe not the one that you traditionally talk about when it comes to pricing, but she definitely built value. All right, I'm going to go back. Here's her value statement.
She will check the schedule and see where she can move it to, see what dates we have available, and she'll give you a call back, okay?
Right there. So for anyone wondering if this is a call that build value applies to, absolutely it is, and she does a great job. I think we could have added a little bit more to highlight the value, but this is great. Well, what's confusing you, Amber? What do you mean? So she's like, why she has to have the dispatcher? Is that what you're asking? Why she has to have the dispatcher call back? Mandy said dispatch, what she'll do, how it'll help. Yes, nailed it. That is what the build value is. Absolutely. Okay, it sounds like she probably, I would guess, if I were to guess what happened in this call, just from the outside looking in, I would say she probably was thrown off that this person had a problem since she didn't check that in the account first. She was probably thrown off and knew it was going to take some time to find something earlier, especially because she could hear the irritation in the customer's voice when she's like, well, hold on, I don't have any heat. I can't wait that long. Right? I imagine the CSR was like, okay, well, let me just let the dispatcher do it. I think let's let the dispatcher do it and we'll let them take it from here. I would guess that was probably what happened. Like, we'll find a different time. They probably don't have anything right away and she wants to make that time. So that's probably why she had her call back, I would guess. But I do love the value. I think she could have added some more. Yes, Mandy says, let's add some adjectives to pump it up. Like, I'm going to have our dispatcher give you a call. Her name's Sharon. She's fantastic. She knows this schedule like the back of her hand. So she's going to do everything she can to get you the earliest time available. And she's going to give you a call back as soon as she knows what that is. When would be a good time to call you? That could be her end question. All right, Amber says, I feel like if the customer's already on the phone, she should have rescheduled while still on the phone. But that's just me. I mean, ideally, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're right for sure. And Mandy also agrees. Yeah, urgency list for sure. I mean, y'all, I'm just guessing, right? Like, I'm just guessing from the outside looking in. Who knows what happened or why she felt like she'd do that. I will say there are some companies that only allow for dispatchers to schedule certain types of calls. So that could be the case. There are a couple reasons why she may have handled it this way. But the truth of the matter is, I loved the value. I think she could have amped that up a little bit. I love that she remembered to set the expectation. I thought that was a strong point in the call. All right, you guys, you are awesome. Thank you for joining me today. The discussion was awesome. You guys were great at being really, really active in the chats and, telling some thoughts, giving feedback, your own ideas. I mean, that is how we make this super, super interactive and awesome. So thank you for being here with me today. I will let you go. And until not next week. Actually, before I let you go, let me just tell you the next time we are going to meet. Oh, it is next week, the 22nd. We will see you next week. We are going to take the 29th off and be back in January for the new year. All right, you guys, talk to you next week. Bye.